The Immortal John Hancock here, and today I have a strange product. Been cleaning out my game room, doing some purging, and came across something I had in my collection, and I know there's others out there. Haven't seen one like this. And so this is the Game Booster plus Action Replay, and there's a lot of these out here, but this one I think, I've seen some other companies make it. I'm sure this is just a generic ripoff, but I haven't seen one exactly like this. And what it does is it does codes on original PlayStation as well as you can play Game Boy games. And so I chose some games out of my collection to see how it works. Let's check it out. And this is the Game Booster plus Action Replay. And it's a pretty interesting device here. And there's several out there, and I know some other people have done some videos of these, but this one is kind of like a knockoff of a knockoff. And so I've had this in my collection a long time, and I never tested it out. So this is the box, kind of your generic box. This is the original PlayStation I've had in my collection a long time. One of the very first PlayStations that I own. It is the original. What it is you're going to hook it up into that port there. And so there's typically a cover there, and you take the cover off, and you take this, and this is the actual device. This is where you hook it into. And on the top there is where you stick your Game Boy carts. Now on the other side there's an off and on switch, as well as PlayStation and Game Boy. And so you just insert it like so. That is it. Comes with simple instructions. Talks about some basic things. Again, there's a lot of companies that make these, so if you collect variations, there's a ton out there. I remember seeing this sold in, I think, a magazine in the back pages, and I forget what the price was, but this is Game Booster with Action Replay. I'm going to focus on the Game Boy part of this device. Now, you plug this into the back of an original PlayStation if you have the parallel I/O port without a game, and you boot it on, and there's a switch on this device, and you have to have it to on. It's PS or Game Boy, and so you have the device selected to Game Boy, and you get this game called Rebound. And it's a very simple game, kind of a take on Breakout, but there's not, you're launching a ball at another bar that's moving on the top of the screen, and that's really it. Really simple. Alright, so here's the game. And there's a password feature, and it starts off really simple, and you're just launching. Looks like you get 25 points for hitting the top of the screen at this moving bar. Really interesting. It's a built-in game, kind of interesting. I don't know if this was ever put on a Game Boy cart. That would be interesting. It doesn't have any sound, so it's really simple. You can change the background and color. There's options, and so you want to do that. There's different levels, and so different levels get harder. Again, you have to avoid those bars. When they ricochet the ball back at you, you can die. So here's the options here. You can go back to the game. There's cheats. There's a trainer. And there's palette, and there's options. You can do larger screen size, so there's video sync, color mode is on, you can have color mode on and off, frame skip, and CD player. I have frame skip at 2, and it seems to run okay. So, alright. Nemesis. I'll just choose some random games and see how they play, and let's go ahead and play it. Now this is the normal screen size, and it's playing pretty good. Again, I could you could listen to any of your CD music that you want. It does not have sound, but not bad. So you go to options, and you go here, and you can go to, there's no color mode on this. You can choose a border, and you can go to large. So I'll show you what large does. And go back to the game. If you want to play it with, larger screen, it's okay. Oh, man, made it. Totally died. Not bad. More of a novelty and interesting thing anyways. So you go back to options. You can change the border. And you can put video sync on or off. Frame skip. Anyways, here we'll go down to... There's just two screen sizes, normal and large. I like normal. Okay, this is Turrican. Again, I just chose 3 Game Boy games randomly from my collection that I thought would be interesting to show. And this is not the greatest game on Game Boy, but it's not bad. Just wanted to show it, how it looks. I haven't played this game in a long time. The characters are kind of small in this game. So again, this might be one where you might want to make it larger. So let's go ahead and do that. So you go to options here and you make large. And so you return to the game and very blocky. This is one of those games I wish there was color. There's just a lot going on. But it does work. I found that Game Boy Color games did not work. I found even the ones that have the hybrid, that are black Game Boy cartridges that have a Game Boy and Game Boy Color mode, those didn't work as well for me. Alright, Frogger works. And I had to try a couple different games. I wasn't getting any of them to work. And so Frogger is, I do believe, a Super Game Boy game. And let's see if the options, it'll let you do the options here. Okay, so you go to options here. And nope, you can't turn the color mode on. So that's interesting. So even though some games you can play around with the colors, but there's not a color mode for this. So yeah. Alright, so we'll go back to the game. So it looks like you can't do the color mode on this. But it's Frogger. And, just classic Frogger. Again, looks okay on a small screen. And, it's a fast version of it. Oh, man. It's a good version of Frogger, by the way, if you haven't checked this version out. It's got good graphics. But yeah, nice to see that this little device doesn't work. This device is very incompatible with things. You just kind of have to pick and choose. So if you're looking for something to play all your Game Boy games, just do a Super Game Boy. Definitely. I wouldn't bother. This is just more of a novelty item. I wanted to show it working. And yeah. So there it is. Kind of more of a novelty than anything. It doesn't have sound and it doesn't play everything. I didn't have it play about a third of the games that I tried on it. And so I was happy that I got 3 to work. And so it doesn't play Game Boy Color. It doesn't play the hybrid Game Boy Color cartridges that are black. But as a novelty, something interesting to show friends. Maybe you're doing a game club, you can bring it. And it's something to talk about. Anyways, I had a lot of fun with this video. I have a lot of videos planned for the summer as I march towards 60,000 subs. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. It means the world to me. Please subscribe if you haven't. And it helps me out a ton. This is the Immortal John Hancock. You take care.